changing of the guard is upcoming in our local public safety divisions, with longtime West Bloomfield Fire Chief Greg Flynn set to retire in late June. His replacement already official, as the West Bloomfield Township Board voted at their recent meeting to appoint Assistant Chief Mark Lawry to that position. Lawry, a longtime West Bloomfield Fire Department firefighter himself, as well as a veteran, received praises from many on the township board during their recent meeting before the affirmative vote for his leadership, for his ability and willingness to participate well beyond the duties of his job, as well as his experience in public safety, making him the perfect person to replace Chief Flynn, a tough act to follow come June. Here's a little bit of their comments.
I just wanted to say a few things. Mark's been with the department since September 13th of 2004 and has moved over the ranks quite in his 21 years. He was training captain in 2115 and deputy chief since 2019. And prior to his service to the township, he served our country as a U.S. Army Ranger. He's had much training and experience to help prepare him for this role, and I look forward to working with him, assuming the board agrees.
I'm very excited for Chief Mark Lawry. I think he'll do a great job, and he's always been a leader as far as I'm concerned, so thank you.
Look, I've had the pleasure of working with Mark Lawry really closely up until my retirement, beginning of 2025, for over 5 years since he was deputy chief. He was always very professional, very disciplined, very energetic, and he's always been a great leader, not only within the police department, within the community. He attends many community events, as I think we all know. Even just one recent example, he filled in at the last minute at the Parks and Rec Veterans Breakfast when their MC didn't show up, and he put his hand up. I'm sure you put your hand up, Mark, and said, "I'll do it." And he did an excellent job, and I think he will be an excellent leader for our fire service here in West Bloomfield and a great addition to the community.
I'm just glad he's going to be the fire chief, because if not that, he was going to take my job. He did so well at the Veterans Breakfast earlier on this year, which you can see on civiccentertv.com, as well as all the comments from the township board, as well as others from that meeting earlier on this week, as he was appointed the fire chief come late June. He's the assistant chief for now, but soon he'll be running the big chair over at the West Bloomfield Fire Department. Joining us now is the man himself, our future fire chief, Mark Lawry. Mark, thanks for joining us, and congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this, because it's a big change. It's a big appointment, both for yourself, for the fire department, for everybody involved. But there is something to be said about keeping this in-house, and that's been something that has been a huge benefit, not only for our fire department, but across the board for our public safety departments in West Bloomfield, being able to maintain a structure of leadership that provides a certain amount of consistency. In your experience, how does that benefit your entire department to have consistency in leadership, especially when there's a big transition like a change in chief, assistant chief, and so on?
Well, first I'm incredibly honored by some of the comments that the board said. That was very kind of them. The chief and I have been working together for the past 7 years on building the foundation that the fire department's working with today. And he and I have shared a vision from the beginning when I got promoted in 2019, and I will continue to use that same vision that he and I have both had when he does finally retire in the end of June here in 2026. He's been a great leader. He will have very hard shoes to fill. I appreciate the mentorship and guidance that he has given me, but I think we both have had a shared vision from the get-go, and that's something that we will continue when I take over in June.
It'll be late June when Chief Flynn retires and you officially take over that position, Mark. But in the meantime, still plenty of time to make those final adjustments. But the benefit's been that you've been working alongside Chief Flynn and much of the leadership at the fire department for a number of years in a variety of capacities. How has that helped you to prepare for being the leader of the department as a whole?
Well, one of the things that Chief Flynn and I share a vision on is succession planning. So we are pretty consistently professionally developing our entire staff. So we're very fortunate to have a bunch of people that are ready to take the next level, whatever that level is, whether it's an operational position, an administrative position, or in this particular case, the chief position. We feel very strongly that education is important. We pushed that from day one. That's what we've been pushing for the past 7 years, which has allowed us to create a succession plan that hopefully we don't have a single bump in the road when June comes and goes. The citizens and the people who visit the greater West Bloomfield area won't see a change at all. The great service that we're currently providing from my dedicated, educated, and fit staff will not be changed.
Future Fire Department Chief Mark Lawry joining us on the program. He'll be the Assistant Chief of the Fire Department, continuing on in that role until late June when Chief Greg Flynn does officially enter his retirement. Mark, what was so nice to see at that township board meeting earlier this week, beyond all the praises from the board and others in leadership positions in the community that spoke about your qualifications, why you were believed to be the perfect candidate to succeed. Chief Flynn, was so many members of your current team being in person there to show their support and pretty emphatic support for this appointment. What did that mean to you?
I don't know. I think you were there. You saw me choke up a little bit. I am very humbled to have the opportunity to lead the quality of people that work in the fire department here. They are a great staff. They are what makes us look good. They represent the township so well. They're the people that you see when you dial 911. They do such a great job, and to have them show up at a meeting and applaud when the decision was made. As you saw, I got emotional. I had trouble talking there for a minute. But my job going forward is to support them with the resources and the tools and the training that they need to make sure that they go home to their families as well. So it meant, you can't imagine how important it was and how emotional it was for me to see people show up like that.
And you make a good point there that the job that you have is to set them up to do the best job that they can do so that they can keep the community safe, but also, and this is an element that so many often miss when they think about our public safety departments, police, fire, EMS, and others, getting them home safe as well. As we move into the future, there's a lot of changes already undergoing with the fire department, renovations to fire station number 1, a new fire station just a few years ago. How do changes like that, new apparatus as well being incorporated into the fire department, help to support what you just mentioned, providing the best opportunities we have for our firefighters and our paramedics so that they can best serve the community and, of course, keep themselves safe as well?
Well, we are so fortunate to live and work in a premier community. And you mentioned public safety, but there are a lot of folks at Town Hall that help us out. And all of the department heads that I have worked with, not excluding the police department and dispatchers who are my immediate partners, but the folks like purchasing, finance, the building department, everybody who works at Town Hall and supports this community comes together as a team when you're talking about things like building new buildings or remodeling buildings or providing the big fire trucks that you see going down the road. There's a team over there all working together to make sure that this is a premier community. And we have a premier public safety group that's taking care of them.
Yeah, and I think there's no better example of that, if I can get on my soapbox briefly, than what happened just recently over the past couple of weekends where we had the water main break that affected so many communities. Of course, the police were quick to respond to that, block off the roads, but that's a public safety concern. That could be a medical concern. There's a lot of different factors that could play into it to bring in your expertise. Having the level of expertise across the board, those strong relationships between police and fire and EMS and the dispatchers covering all 4 of our communities in greater West Bloomfield, and having that rarity beyond that of having a pretty cohesive unit government-wide in West Bloomfield Township, which is not very common nowadays anywhere else. How does that help our firefighters and help you as you emerge into a higher leadership position come June?
Knowing we have the support of great folks like that. I mean, we've seen Justin Taylor talking through the water emergency. We had an incident in the southern end of the township where we knew we were going to be using water. And if you mentioned teamwork, the professionals at dispatch, as they were receiving the call, were automatically forwarding that information to the water department. The water department was reaching out to my battalion chief as he was on the way to the scene, and they had already discussed increasing pressures and volumes of anything that we need to make sure that this piece works together. So you had police, dispatch, the water team, and the fire department all working together seamlessly to take care of a problem in the southern end of the township. And I can't stress enough the importance of the relationships that all of the departments have, the department heads have when we work together to resolve problems like that. That's government working together as it should be.
Yeah, most fire departments, they cover their one community. You cover all 4 of ours here in Greater West Bloomfield through the Tri-City Fire Department. That's just another example of how partnership and professionalism plays into our fire department and all of our public safety across all 4 of our communities here in Greater West Bloomfield. Our soon-to-be Fire Chief, Mark Lawry, joins us on the Splash Live. You can congratulate him and learn more about the fire department by following them on their Facebook page at WB Fire Department. Mark, before I let you go, I got to ask about this because, you know, it was mentioned by our former police chief, Mike Patton, about you filling in at that veterans breakfast. You're a veteran yourself. That was a last-minute thing. You did a great job. Can we expect another MC appearance now in the future for you as the chief?
I would be honored. Nothing would make me happier. As a veteran, I support that group. There's folks that are out there keeping us safe today. My daughter's one of them. Any father who has a child in harm's way understands the importance of service. And that's something that I will absolutely show up for. If you send me the invitation, I'll sign up for it right now.
Yeah, you and me both. We all have veterans in our life and those that are currently serving that we're thinking about, especially in these times. And then we extend that locally, close to home with our public safety as well, you and your team at the fire department. Congratulations once again, future Chief Lawry, and of course, thank you to your entire team.
The honor's mine. Thank you for having me.